existing state of purity. So dear to heaven is saintly chastity, that when a soul is found sincerely so, 1,000 liveried angels like it. Saying Milton, with the true poet's veil-piercing sword vision, service is but waste unless action demands it. The Sphinx is not to be mastered by holding aloof. The brutish innocence of paradise is always at the mercy of the serpent. It is his wisdom that should guide our ways. We need his swiftness, subtlety, and his royal prerogative of dealing death. The innocence of the adept. We are at once reminded of the strong innocence of Hippocrates, his energy of science. Chaste man is thus not merely one who avoids the contagion of impure thoughts, and the results but whose virility is competent to restore perfection to the world about him. Thus the parsival who flees from country in her attendant flower witches loses his way and must wander long years in the desert. He is not truly chaste until he is able to redeem her. An act which he performs by the reunion of the lance and the sun. Chastity may thus be defined as the strict observance of the magical oath that is in the light of the law of Thalib. Absolute and perfected devotion to the holy guardian angel and the exclusive pursuit of the way of the true will. It is entirely incompatible with the cowardice moral attitude, the emasculation of soul and stagnation of action which commonly denote the man called chaste by the vulgar. Beware of abstinence from action. Is it not written in our lection? For the nature of the universe being creative energy, all tales blasphemes the goddess and seeks to introduce the elements of a real death within the pulses of life. The chaste man, the true knight errant of the stars, imposes continually his essential virility upon the throbbing womb of the king's daughter. With every stroke of his spear, he penetrates the heart of holiness and bids spring forth the fountain of the sacred blood, splashing its scarlet dew throughout space and time. His innocence melts with its white hot energy. The felon fetters of that restriction which is sin. His integrity, with its fury of righteousness, establishes that justice which alone can satisfy the yearning lust of the womanhood, whose name is opportunity, is the function of the castrum or castellum. It is not merely to resist a siege, but to compel the obedience of law and order. Every pagan within range of its riders, so also it is the way of chastity to do more than defend its purity against assault. He is not wholly pure who is imperfect. Perfect is no man in himself without his fulfillment in all possibility. Thus there must he be instant to seek all proper adventure, achieve it, seeing well to it, by no means should such distract him or divert his purpose. Being his true nature, hamstringing his true will. Woe, woe, therefore, to him, the unchaste, who shirks scornful the seeming trivial, or flees fearful the desperate adventure. Woe, thrice woe, in 4 times woe be to him who is allured by the adventure, slacking his will, demitted from his way. For as the laggard and the dastard are lost, so is the toy of circumstance dragged down to nethermost hell. Sir Knight, be vigilant. Watch by your arms and renew your oath. The days of sinister augury and deadly charged with danger which ye fear not, to overthrowing with gay deeds and bold, masterful, of manful chastity. Silence. Of all the magical and mystical virtues, all the graces of the soul, all the attainments of the spirit, none has been so misunderstood, even when it all apprehended as silence. It would not be possible to enumerate the common errors. Nay, it may be said that to think of it at all is in itself an error, for its nature is pure being, that is to say nothing, so that it is beyond all intellection or tuition. Thus then the utmost of our essay can be only a certain wardenship, as it were a tiling of the lodge, wherein the mystery of silence may be consummated. For this attitude, there is sound traditional authority for Hippocrates. God of silence is called the Lord of defense and protection. But his nature is by no means that negative and passive silence which the word commonly connotes. He is the all-wandering spirit, pure and perfect knight-errant who answers all enigmas and opens the closed portal of the king's daughter. Silence, in the vulgar sense, is not the answer to the riddle of the Sphinx. It is that which is created by that answer. For silence is the equilibrium of perfection, so that Hippocrates is the omniform, the universal key to every mystery soever. Sphinx is the puzzle, or puselle, feminine idea, to which there is only one
This is what happens when you
If you've hit that point where
always different in form and always identical in essence. This is the signification of the gesture of the god. It is shown more clearly in his adult form as the fool of the tarot and as Bacchus, Diphus, and without equivocation when he appears as Baphomet. When we inquire more closely into his symbolism.
All right, big mama. You're gonna speak for yourself. You're the only one. All right, big mama. I'm gonna land, and you got it. So basically, I'm gonna land real quick.
This homo thug the fuck out of here, because if he stole with me, I'm going to go the fuck off. Right, and this bitch go. I'm gonna go off on you, I swear to God. Let me tell you something. I'm not even talking to your bitch ass today at all. I don't even acknowledge you. You're wrong. Get the fuck away from me. Don't say shit to me. No, your mother's gonna die. Your mother's gonna fucking die in your fucking arms, you bitch ass nigga. Stop talking to me. For real, seriously. Anyway, like I was saying, hurry the fuck up. You're losing the whole audience. This is ridiculous at this point.
So basically, there was a wonderful loss. I get it though, but you gotta understand what's interesting is that First Lady is a part of the governmental system, and she's letting Brooklyn ankle bite the shit out of me and overtalk me because it works towards their mutual goals, right? The mutual goal is to just get a nigga to shut up because they don't want to be responsible for what they've done to the black community. And it's unfortunate that even in this environment, this plays out. And it's sad because we'll always be compared against the white man. And it's not about the black family, it's about some competition, which we're gonna give credit to Playboy because he mentioned the ego, the driven ego. You want to compete with the white people in the white man's home. It's crazy. But yeah.
Oh. First of all, you didn't even give a premise as to why you even played the video. I just took a stab at it and said that all of the
watch me trying to shout her down and see what happens, right? So I'm gonna interrupt her submission and let's see how long before I get hit with a baton and sent to the goo. Now let's just see if we have equal. Like,
why do you want to do with women?
There it is. Thank you. Have a nice. I'm done.
Why do you want to do with women?
I'm done. I'm going on mute.
That was the proof. You just proved that real easy, concrete.
Very easy. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother.
You've been on stage all day.
All day and
look at this captured man that helps them out, thug.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is why it doesn't make sense to have gender wars, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be honest. I'm just saying. I have continuously.
That's on both sides.
I have continuously fought for. No, I'm just talking about when he accuses me. I'm talking for myself.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because you're accusing me of doing something that I haven't done. I've interrupted any and everybody. I don't discriminate, sir.
You didn't do it. How am I accusing you of something you haven't done? You said you just did it.
Well, I didn't do it because you said it's a part of an agenda.
Yeah.
I don't have an agenda. That's not my agenda. Whatever you have concocted up in your brains is not my agenda. My agenda is to make sure that the space is moderated appropriately. That's my agenda. Get it right.
But First Lady, to be honest, right, he just proved what he was saying. Like, he was sitting there speaking while Brooklyn was talking over him. But the minute he decided to do it to her, You came off your mic faster for him talking than you did for Brooklyn. You didn't say not one word about Brooklyn did.
Oh my God. Complete
No,
competition.
she was telling him to hurry up. She wasn't trying to stop him.
I really
She said, please come on. You keep going around the same thing. So
really wasn't,
I
but
agree with that. Okay? So I'm not going to stop her from saying that because I agree. He was just wanting to be a contrarian and actually do it. That's the difference.
My
It's
whole
the
thing is
content.
everything that I've said, these three niggas have fucking proven me right. I don't understand
Y'all
how
gotta stop
on both
gaslighting.
sides,
Please.
on both sides, it's not happening. When fucking these niggas have proven me right. As soon as they get an opportunity to blame a woman for something they do, I don't even
First of all, you're not a
Yeah, you gotta be accountable sometime, yo.
You're not a woman, first
At
of
some
all.
point, you gotta be accountable for your actions.
So there's that.
Watch your mouth.
On the record,
If you don't know as a woman,
moving away from concrete,
you
moving
know
away
God, but she's a woman. So don't
MJ,
be
stop trying to show daylight between us,
No,
brother.
no, it's not daylight. It's not daylight, brother. It's not about that. Moving on with the conversation.
It might be added to the
Concrete in the
Just
wilderness.
gonna say I'm not gonna talk to a homo thug. But what I will say
Hold on,
is
Brooklyn, damn, why you doing that now?
No, because
Yeah, give it to him, Brooklyn.
I wanna
Fuck
make
over his ass. Don't give a fuck about what he had to
the
say.
only thing that I
That's what
wanted
you
to
for booty
say.
clapping
I'm sorry, MJ. But the only thing that I wanted to say was Concrete never explained
Sit on
why
mute,
he
MJ.
even wanted to play the
Know your fucking
begin with,
position.
right? He's being ignorant. You are being a bitch. And this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't
This
care
is the
about you,
shit
bro.
that I be saying. You
You
are
can be-
so
you
busy
sound
trying to be a
traumatized.
fucking woman.
You sound
You are
traumatized.
competing with
Yeah.
me. You can't do what I do because I don't talk as much as you do. It's not gonna take me as long to get my point across. The fuck I do. That's my point. So you're being a whole asshole right now. That's what I'm saying. All of this time, we've been on this app alone, but not to mention all over the fucking
You
internet.
never have
Niggas is
intelligent
on the
conversation on
internet
this app. You do
fucking
the
trying
same thing
to
you're doing
compete
now.
with women.
You
Look
don't
at
have
them.
nothing intelligent
This
to say.
homo that wanna fight me, motherfucking Concrete wanna argue with me, and they just don't. They wanna do all of the talking because they're fucking gossip
But this is
girls.
what you do
This
in
is
this
not
app
what a
for
man
5 years.
does.
Say,
That's my point. Instead of you competing with
but you
actual
never
men,
have
you
anything
compete with
intelligent to
women.
say.
You're hoes. And that's why we don't respect you niggas. Period.
You don't like this. Why do we care about what you think? You don't like this. You were traumatized
So I
by
like
the
dick just as much as you do. I like dick just as much as you do.
But you don't like
So I
men,
like
though.
men. To be honest with you, I like dick just as much as you do.
You like lust. You like sex, but you don't like
I
men.
like dick like you like dick.
Healing. I hope you help her with her healing. Instead of like helping her like crack.
Yo, if I could just say what I was saying before I got interrupted. So what is actually happening? This is according to the Federal Reserve economic data. The trajectory for Black men median weekly real earnings in 2014 and 2024, an 11.5% increase, and an 8.4% increase. So we've actually gone from 76% of white men median weekly earnings to 78%. So we have an incremental movement in the right direction of Black men. I think that, but relatively speaking, to Hispanic men, it's actually 18.1%. So, and Asian men is 20.6%. So other races have growth trajectories than Black men, but we are creeping up on white men in particular.
Okay, can I go? Alright, so the big difference I'm hearing from the clip and the conversations that are happening now is that in the clip they kept saying things like the revolution. They kept talking about the race problem. They kept referring to that we're in certain conditions because white people are actually oppressing us. Niggas is not talking like that now. Niggas is actually at war with their women. That's what they're saying. Concrete literally said that earlier. The war against women. But when I tried to get him to talk about like having any type of conflict for white people when he created the scenario of the white people taking damn near half of what he has, and he said he's not even going to speak up about it. He has no smoke for them, but he has this animosity for black women. And niggas, like, you do look like bitches. I'm being honest, you do look like bitches. Like, you're afraid to fight the real challenge, and you want to fight your own woman, the motherfuckers that are holding you down. It's stupid.
So this woman worship. Hold on, MJ. Hold on, brother. This woman worship is the problem. You guys have inverted roles to your own detriment, to their detriment. Been so conditioned and abused with their verbal abuse. Because obviously, they have no respect for you. Obviously, they have no respect for themselves. It's just a psychological operation from Big Mama down to little boys, little niggas, and y'all have taken the bait and y'all have fucked over. And I understand nobody wants to be on the outs with the women because, you know, it's so wonderful being with women, obviously. Soft and delicious. I get it. But at some point, you've got to regain your self-respect, stand up when you pee, and, you know, have a voice for yourself. I understand that y'all have been so captured and conditioned, but hey, look, if you want this for your sons in the next generation, then go ahead, maintain the status quo. You captured men. It's unfortunate, but you should think beyond yourself and say, hey, do I really want this for the next generation? Me personally, no, right? So anyway, all right, brother. One second, brother. I didn't interrupt you while you're speaking, brother. I didn't interrupt you while you're speaking, brother. So the whole point, one second, brother. All right, brother. Now you're using more excuses. Anyway, so the whole point is very simple. We can have a conversation about the betterment of our community, or we can continue to do what we've been doing, which is bullshitting each other, trying to gaslight each other, everybody capitulating to the overbearing demands of a miserable, broken, group of women. Sorry, not interested. Won't do it.
Okay, so you're talking about bettering the next generation, but you don't want to challenge the oppression that we're facing as far as like in housing, as far as in hiring for jobs. You don't have, like, that's not part of any of your conversation. You don't care about that being improved. You're actually fine with us being in second class, in a second class position as far as that is concerned. But you just want to fight with women.
Are there any uncaptured men that would like to talk?
Across the board, where you're fighting with women of other races, you kids fight women's asses on here all the fucking time.
What's the actual?
You just want to fight with your own.
Any non-captured men that want to have an honest discussion and not this weirdo? Anyone that's not like captured?
Thank you, Doug. Hold on. Before
I'm gonna say this briefly.
I was gonna speak before.
Hold on a
Yo,
second.
Concrete cut me off, bro. Let me just get this one out. It's real quick. 5 seconds. I found it interesting that Mud said that black men are, going after black women when black women are not the enemy, which is the absolute truth. But many black men feel they should be going after other black immigrants instead. I thought that was interesting. Keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just, to Mud's point, like, bro, I got great respect for you, Mud, for as long as I've known you on this app, but I disagree, bro. There is no white man holding me back. I ain't got no smoke for that motherfucker. I got smoke for the Jew. That's who I got smoke for. That's the person that I see as my option. Hold on a second. I'm just going to get this out because I just don't have that white man narrative anymore. I'm a 4-time felon. I'm also a Columbia University graduate. I got 4 working businesses, and I'm doing extremely well. 10 years that I've been free from a federal prison. I don't see any white man in my path, nowhere, right? What I do see is black women that are incentivized to fucking keep me. What I do see is on my place of employment, I see black men in supervision that are trying to make it hard for me. There's no cracker in my way. I also see the Jew that is in my way. That's who I see. So I just disagree with you, bro. With all this white man, smoke for the white man, I got smoke for the Jew. I'm done speaking.
Well, hold on. I mean, who created the conditions for you to be in to have that route of federal prison time?
I hold on. I created that. I took the wrong decision to commit a crime. I did that. I decided to commit. Oh no. Excuse me, sir. You're not going to paint a narrative. That's not.
No, I'm not. I'm just asking. Go ahead.
You're not asking. You're trying to paint a narrative. I'm telling you straight up and down. Every decision that I've made in my life that wound me up in prison, I made that. There was no conditions. My mother and father took care of me, but I chose to make another path for myself. That's what I did. Oh, I'm not sitting here going to try to make it seem like the white man created the school to prison pipeline and got mine. Hell no, nigga. I was always academically inclined through my school years until I decided to commit crime. That's why I had one of the highest crimes that were committed against Goldman Sachs and the Barclays Bank of Britain. That's why. It ain't got nothing to do with the white man. It is the Jew that I got to smoke with. I'm done speaking.
Okay, so why is it the Jew and not the white man?
It's the Jew because the Jew has co-opted our country's government. It has rooted itself in our country and has taken over our economics. The Federal Reserve is not a government bank.
Lord have mercy.
It is a Jewish ran and owned bank. That's why y'all keep muting me because y'all a bunch of ignorant motherfuckers that keep doing it. I'm done speaking.
So my question to you is, when you say that it's the Jew, I mean, by proxy, right? Would you say that the white man is working with the Jew in that narrative, or you think the Jews are just working like in a vacuum?
No, the white man has to maintain power. His person of power is the Jew. So he has made a closed door agreement, whatever that was, because I wasn't in the room when they shook hands. But whatever that agreement is, he is allowing the Jew to do all the things that he's able to do today. In media, in production, in Israel, all of the things that the Jew is because the white man is allowing him. There is no Jew that is running this country. It is the white man that's running it. The Jew is just at the passenger seat, giving him help.
So then I have a question to you then, right? So you're telling me, and I just want to make sure I'm not misquoting you or misunderstanding you. You're saying that the Jew is basically like a pawn on the white man's chessboard, right? Like they're trying to maintain power.
That's your analogy correct. You're just not listening.
No, you said they had a handshake. You said a handshake,
brother.
You said they had. I'm trying to understand the question. Because you're saying that the Jew and the white man had a handshake, and that the white man allowed you to be in all these positions of power, like in the media. That's what you said.
They're not positions of power. They're in positions of influence.
Of influence, okay.
The Jew is the white man. What are you talking about?
And does that influence? And that influence leads to power, correct?
No, sir. That's your narrative, not mine. That's no, sir.
So influence doesn't lead to power. Okay. So then let me make sure I get this understood. The white man and the Jew had a handshake, and the white man is who allows the Jew to have the influence that the Jew has, correct?
But the Jews are white. That doesn't make sense.
Oh,
The Jews that are in power are the Jews. They are white.
Okay, what the difference is this. When you just walked in, was it the narrative that a person, I was disagreeing with Mud to the point where he was, nobody's got smoke for the white man. They always got smoke for women. So I was saying that I disagree that I don't have smoke with the white man. There's a different white man in America today. That white man is the Jew. There is no white man that is holding me back from anything. There is no white man that is telling me that if you say this about me, you're anti-Semitic and you're going to get cancel culture or fired or some wild bullshit. White man is not doing that. It's only the Jew. And that's who I got to smoke with. And that's what
You're saying the white man is who? You're saying the white man is who enables the Jew to have that level of influence.
No.
That's what you just said.
But you keep trying to.
I'm not trying. I'm only going off of what you're saying. What you said.
No.
Everybody on the stage heard you say it.
You're not only going by what I'm saying because you keep adding things to it. Like I think you're saying this, and you're coming up with your own narrative. Stop doing that. Just take what I'm saying.
You said that the white man and the Jew had a handshake, and that the white man allowed the Jew to have the influence they had.
Tell him he's right, and he'll be happy.
Okay, you're right, Lancelot. You got it.
I'm saying that though. That's verbatim what you said.
You're right, bro. You're right.
Alright, man. Now y'all being sarcastic and facetious. It's all good, man. That shit weird. It's weird that niggas can get on stage And then when somebody tries to hold you to what you said, all of a sudden, it's just totally right.
You
That's
just
weird.
said you're right.
Is symbolism. The first quality which engages our attention is doubtless his innocence. Not without deep wisdom is he called twin Horus. This is Leon Horus. It is he who sent forth. I was his minister to proclaim its advent. The fourth power of the Sphinx is silence. To us, then,